Canada has made a significant diplomatic move by recalling 41 of its diplomats amid concerns that India might revoke their immunity. This development reflects a growing diplomatic tension between the two nations and raises questions about the nature of their diplomatic relationship. The dispute began in January 2023 when the Indian government arrested two Canadians, Kulwinder Dhaliwal and Jaspal Atwal, on charges of attempting to disrupt a rally in support of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two men were later released on bail. The Canadian government has denied any involvement in the alleged plot and has called for the charges against Dhaliwal and Atwal to be dropped. However, the Indian government has refused to do so and has instead accused Canada of interfering in its internal affairs. Diplomatic recall. The decision to recall 41 diplomats is an unusual and noteworthy diplomatic step. Diplomatic recalls are typically initiated in response to conflicts or disputes between nations. India-Canada relations. The recall of diplomats hints at diplomatic tensions between India and Canada. The specific reasons for this tension may relate to a range of issues, including trade disputes, political disagreements, or other bilateral concerns. Diplomatic immunity. The mention of India potentially revoking the immunity of these diplomats is significant. Diplomatic immunity is a privilege granted to foreign diplomats, allowing them to carry out their duties without being subject to legal or law enforcement actions in the host country. Implications. The situation has implications for diplomatic norms and practices. Revoking diplomatic immunity is a serious action with legal and diplomatic consequences. Resolution or escalation. The recall of diplomats can serve as a means of applying pressure to the host nation. However, it can also be an opportunity for diplomatic dialogue and negotiation to resolve underlying issues. Diplomatic dialogue. This situation may lead to diplomatic discussions between India and Canada in an effort to address the underlying issues and de-escalate tensions. International observers. The diplomatic community and international organizations may closely monitor the situation to ensure that diplomatic norms and conventions are upheld. Legal implications. The potential revocation of diplomatic immunity may lead to legal proceedings and discussions about the rights and responsibilities of diplomats under international law. Bilateral relations. The incident could influence the broader bilateral relations between India and Canada, affecting areas such as trade, cooperation, and diplomacy. It's essential to note that for the most accurate and up-to-date information about this situation and the reasons behind the recall of diplomats, one should refer to official statements from both the Canadian and Indian governments or rely on reliable news sources reporting on diplomatic developments.